What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hustle with JesseW, and today I'm going to show you how to use support and resistance to establish potential trade plans. Check it out. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and jump into this video here on the day. What I want you to do really quickly here is kind of like forget about everything you've ever heard about support and resistance, and if you've even heard anything about that, or indicators on your chart. Try to forget all that. Just set it to a side. You know, you might be a newer trader and you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So we're going to start you off here really basic, very much step one type of thing here on how to analyze a chart and look for support and resistance lines. Now you can use these lines to do things like smash the like button for me, which helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And you can use these lines to find where stocks might have bounce zones and resistance zones. When you see these bounce zones, you might see the stock trickle on down and then just bounce off of it. And then when you see it approaching a resistance line, you'll see it tap that area and then pull back away from it. So what I'm going to show you here is a few charts that have support and resistance lines already pre-drawn on them, so you can see more or less what you want to look for. And then what we're going to do is we're going to jump into a chart really quickly that is currently live right now, and we'll take a look at that one and analyze it and draw our own real-time support and resistance lines. Now, first things first, I'm going to ask you to do two things so we can continue. Number one, if you're new here or if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you're alerted when I upload my videos and when I go live, which I go live in pre-market, okay? And number two, check out the link in the comment section to my Discord. You can come join me for free to the free version of the Discord and participate in Free Chat Monday, or you can come join us flat out at any of our 2 subscriptions that are down there as well. Right, so now let's go ahead and get in here and pick our very first chart. All right, guys, so now for our very first chart, we're going to look at ZEV. This chart right here is a small cap stock, as you can tell. We're going to have various different price point stocks here. And what you see here is a triple top on this chart, okay? This is a triple top. You can see one attempt here at this high, one attempt here to break through, it couldn't, another attempt here to break through and couldn't. Each one of these establishing a resistance point. And this resistance point lines itself up with 3 different, segments here. You have the one here in the morning, early on, the one here in the late morning session, and then the one here at lunchtime, which typically speaking, when that happens, you'll see a potential fade on back down. So what I want to show you here as well is a quick little support zone. Now I know that's pretty rustic drawing there, but you can see right in here, there was some tops early on in the morning. That turned into support right in here and right in here. So when you had that support there, you had this resistance, and that's typically what you're looking for. You're looking for bounce areas where the stock has touched multiple times, and you're looking for resistance areas where the stock has touched again and been rejected multiple times. That is a channel that starts to establish itself. It's a trading channel. You can buy the bounces and sell these tops here. I don't personally like trading channels, but there are some people who do. They love it. That's how they make their living as traders, trading in channels. And I'm going to show you more charts here that you could, theoretically do the same here, where you can establish the channel. And how would you establish a channel? Well, just simply by looking at the chart right now, not analyzing anything else. You would say, okay, we had a top here, so now we're approaching it. If we begin to reject this level, then I'm going to probably look for shorts, and I'm going to set my stop just above that level. And where am I going to start taking profits? Well, probably start taking some profits here in the 11th, and then more down here in front of this bounce zone. Why? Because it's probably going to bounce there. And what do you think is happening there? Well, dip buyers who are buying these channels, they're like, okay, well, we have bounced here a couple times, so if I get another shot at buying it here, I will. And what happens? They come in, they buy it right here, and they sell some maybe at 11, and they sell some more up here at what? The resistance zone. At that resistance zone. Hey, this is actually starting to look like a little face. Well, there you go, some comedic relief in the video. So that's what you would look for. Now let's go ahead and look at another one, because you could say, oh, well, that's just, a coincidence. Is it? Let's see here. What do we have? Now we have a chart here, QS. QS has established this bounce zone here. Okay, what is that? That is a support line. Now, what I want you to start to realize is that when stocks find a support level, they'll hold it for a certain amount of time. Eventually, they might break down underneath it. And here is what you need to always be looking out for. How to use these support and resistance lines to your benefits, right? This stock, QS, bounced here off of this line. Pushed, bounced, pushed, bounced, and what happened? This bounce started to become smaller. As a matter of fact, when you look closely, each bounce was smaller than the previous. We eventually broke underneath it. That happens every so often, okay? It doesn't always happen this way. Of course not. There's not one setup or pattern that is 100%. But more often than not, when a support zone like this is broken to the downside, you can now look for it to possibly become a level of resistance. You can see resistance right here, and you can see resistance right here. So what you want to look for when you identify these levels is, I personally try to leave the lines up for a very long period of time, because eventually they will possibly come back into play. And in the case of QS here, you see that this line became resistance immediately. And months later, it was what? Yet again, resistance zone. Now let's move on to another chart. Here you have DKNG. A bounce zone occurred here. Big bounce off that level, very big bounce, okay? We pulled right back into it, and what happened? We found support in it right here. And then we broke underneath it, and what do you think happened there? Boom, resistance. Further move to the downside. So this is why it's important to map out these levels, and the way you do it is just by identifying these bounce zones, mapping them out, and then looking for them to come back into play for you at a later time. Let's move on to another chart. Tesla. Now here what we're going to do is, I'm going to give you a split second here, or you can pause the video and look for the support zone. Look for it there. Tell me if you see it. Where is that potential support zone, and what happened after that support zone got broken to the downside? I'll draw it out for you after you're done. Here is your potential support zone right in here. Okay. There it is. You see support just above it right here. You see support in this general range. You got to remember, with Tesla, with no stock it's ever to the penny. With Tesla, it's definitely not to the dollar. It's a zone. All right. We bounced here. We bounced here, right? This is the neckline of a head and shoulders pattern. You can see the head and shoulders here. Shoulder, head, shoulder. And then what happened? Boom. That level became resistance. And we got downside on Tesla. You always want to be mapping out these levels on your charts. Now, let's go ahead and draw one out ourselves. Let's get Snap, who had big earnings today and made a nice push up. Let's turn this into a weekly chart really quickly. Okay, and now let's go ahead and map out some potential support and resistance zones. Right here, we see that Snap had bounced off of this level before. What do you know? Today so far, what are we doing? We're finding resistance right at that level, which was previously a bounce zone. So you always want to make sure that you keep these levels there just in case they come into play. Right now, this one's in play. It doesn't mean it's going to hold resistance 100% guaranteed. There's no 100% guarantee in trading. But it means it's a level to watch, and this is exactly how you do that, guys. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button for me and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the Discord. Any questions, drop them in the comment section, and I'll see you as well in the live stream for pre-market. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.